What's up, guys? It's Dr. Jim. I am your CBD expert, your natural health care expert, and your worldwide virtual health coach. And I want to welcome you to tonight's live. Now, man, I'm excited. There's been just so much excitement over this week, this launch week for the world's very first, okay? You heard it right. The world's very first online health transformation program featuring CBD oil. I created it. It's available to everybody right now. But I wanted to talk about tonight because a lot of people are asking me, well, your program sounds really awesome, but I'm not sure it's really for me because, I have this kind of problem or that kind of problem. So I'm going through and I'm want to make sure that I address all kinds of different conditions. So tonight's topic is CBD oil, low thyroid secrets revealed. Woo! Does that sound exciting? Because listen, there is a lot of people out there that are having are really concerned. They're having a lot of concerns with their thyroid, and they have a lot of symptoms of low thyroid, and they're just trying to figure out. They're not getting the help they want. They don't feel well, even though they may be taking medication and they're getting treatment, and they just can't. They're just not feeling better. So they're really concerned. So I've gotten so many questions about that I just decided we needed to do a live of CBD oil, low thyroid secrets revealed. You're going to hear it tonight. When you come in, go ahead and put in where you're coming in from, and if you're watching it live or on the replay, because I want to know, are you getting the full energy of Dr. Jim, or are you seeing it on the replay? But it doesn't matter either way. I'm excited for you. It's going to be a lot of good information. Now, disclaimer, all right? Number one, I'm not your doctor. You are not my patient tonight. There is nothing about this video that constitutes a doctor-patient relationship. So please do not change any of your current medical practices because something cool that you heard about me talk about on a video tonight. Okay, that is between you and the doctor who prescribed whatever you're prescribing. I'm just going to give you a natural healthcare perspective, a CBD expert's perspective, and later on, if you would like assistance and follow a program that I put together to help you, then you can put yes in the comments and you can check out this world's first online program, okay? So CBD oil, low thyroid secrets revealed. Well, I think it's important. Oh wait, the other thing is we don't diagnose, treat, or claim to cure any specific disease with CBD oil. I'm not diagnosing or treating any specific diseases, but what I want to do is I want to explain sort of what are some of the underlying events that happen with these conditions, and then ultimately how could CBD oil impact those underlying conditions. So we're not treating a disease, but we may be treating some parts of some connected things to it. I don't know how to say it. I mean, you got to be so careful about what you say, but listen, we're not treating or diagnosing or trying to cure any specific disease, but this is what I want you to know. So what is your thyroid, right? Why is it so important? Well, your thyroid ultimately controls your metabolism, your basal metabolic rate. And what that means is cellular processes, the speed in which you really kind of convert food into energy. It literally controls it has its hand in so many areas in your body that think about it this way. I've said it many times. You know how important something is by how many receptors it has throughout the body. Well, nearly every cell in your body has a receptor site for thyroid hormones. So tell me, how important is your thyroid, right? It's super important. And so if your thyroid's not functioning right, what could it feel like? What might your symptoms be? Now listen, if you got on here tonight because you're like, oh my gosh, I've got a low thyroid and this is how I feel, you could put in the comment, you could probably fill up pages of what it feels like. You already know, but there's so many. I had to copy some of them down and read them, but some of the symptoms of a low thyroid are gaining weight, even though nothing's changed in your diet, but it can be rapid weight gain. You could have brain fog, depression, thinning hair, your eyebrows thin. You start losing the outer third of your eyebrows. What are some other ones? It can affect your menstrual cycles and significantly affect fertility. That's why usually if you go to the fertility doctor and you're having problems, they're going to almost always check your thyroid. You can have bloating in your stomach because a low thyroid slows how your food moves through your system. You can get gallstones, dry skin, high blood pressure. High cholesterol is a really big one that goes along with low thyroid. So when you look at what could having a low thyroid, what could the symptoms be? Well, the other one is just tired. I mean, if your get up and go is like long since gone. Even if you sleep 10, 12 hours at night and you wake up in the morning and you're exhausted and you've gained weight and your hair's thinning and you're dry and you don't want to have sex anymore and you're constipated and all of those things, those are a good indicator that you have a low thyroid. Now, once again, you probably already have thyroid. I mean, if you have a thyroid problem, you already know about all these, okay? But maybe you've not been diagnosed with a thyroid problem and you're trying to figure out what in the world could be going wrong. So you heard tonight and you go, oh my gosh, I got like 10 of those things. Maybe I have a low thyroid. So you go to the doctor and the doctor runs a simple test called your TSH and it comes back out of range. And he goes, yep, just like we suspected, you have a low thyroid. So they write you a prescription for thyroid hormones. They say come back in like 2 months. You take your thyroid hormones, you come back, and the doc goes, we got it. TSH is in the normal range. We got it. Your thyroid's fixed. And you're looking at him or her like, you've got to be kidding me. Because you still feel all of these symptoms. You're still tired. Your energy still stinks. Your hair's still falling out. You still don't want to have sex. You still don't move your bowels very well. Your metabolism is junk. You're still gaining weight or you can't lose weight even though you're restricting calories and doing things like that. And you're like, doc, I don't understand. There's no way this could be right. And they go, well, I don't know, but it's not your thyroid because the test tells everything looks great. And then that's when they start wondering if maybe you're depressed, and you often end up on an antidepressant at that point. And so that's the dilemma. That's why I created this program, because this is what got me into working in nutrition, and I got certified in functional endocrinology and functional blood chemistry and mastering the thyroid with functional health. It's because there's millions of people walking around who either can't get a diagnosis of a low thyroid, or when they do get diagnosed, they get a prescription, and then once the TSH comes back in range, they tell them they fixed it, and they still feel awful. So if you understand that, if you get that, give me a thumbs up or a like or hearts, because I want you to know that I understand your situation, that it is very, very common. That's why I got into this, and that's why I created this program, because you're not getting the help you deserve, all right? You deserve more than that. And unfortunately, your thyroid is more than just a TSH test. And what happens is if your TSH is too high, TSH stands for thyroid stimulating hormone. If your TSH is too high, it means you have a low functioning thyroid. All right? And then they'll write you medication, it comes back, TSH is in range, you're good. And you're like, but doc, I'm still sick, I'm still suffering. And that's why I'm here for you, because there's a whole other section. This is where the secrets revealed comes out, okay? Because there's about 7 different reasons why you might have a low thyroid, and only one of them is going to show up as an out of balance TSH, all right? So I'm going to hit the 2 major ones that I see in practice all the time, that unfortunately your thyroid medication does not take care of, all right? So that's important. So number 1, and this is by far the biggest one, is the number 1 cause of a low thyroid in the United States, bar none, is an autoimmune condition where your immune system actually is attacking and destroying your thyroid gland. Well, that's awful, because your immune system is destroying thyroid gland. Your thyroid gland can't make enough thyroid hormones, and you end up in a low thyroid state. So you go, well, great. If they give me thyroid hormones and that goes up, shouldn't that fix it? Well, here's the deal. In an autoimmune condition, you have a cloud of inflammation floating around through your whole body. All right? Inflammatory cytokines everywhere in your body. And what they do is they block the receptor sites on your cells. Now remember, I said you have thyroid receptor sites almost everywhere in your body. Okay? Thyroid receptor sites everywhere on every cell in your body. And these inflammatory cytokines from this autoimmune condition. Now, there's two different kinds. Hashimoto's, which is what causes the low thyroid. It can also swing hyper. That's because your thyroid will fluctuate with as your immune system flares up and calms down. Your thyroid will go like this. So if if your numbers keep switching all over the place, it's because your immune system is flaring up and calming down. All right, a little off track there, sorry. But basically, these inflammatory cytokines, they block the thyroid receptor sites. And so even if you're taking the right amount of thyroid hormones, so your TSH looks great, those thyroid hormones can't attach to the thyroid receptor site. So you still have all the symptoms of a low thyroid. And it's because of the autoimmune attack and the inflammation in the body from it. Okay? So that's number one. That's probably the biggest one. And number two is you can have an underconversion. All right? T4, so TSH goes from your pituitary gland to your thyroid gland. Thyroid stimulating hormone telling your thyroid to make thyroid hormones. Your thyroid gland then makes T4. T4 is what it makes the most, and this is the deal. T4 is actually the inactive form of thyroid hormones. T4 then has to go down to your liver, where the majority of it is then converted into T3. Now, T3 is the active form of thyroid hormones, and that's what has a thyroid impact throughout your body. Now, guess what? What if T4 does not convert well to T3? Now, what happens? Well, if you have increased cortisol, now cortisol is a stress hormone made in your adrenal glands. It downregulates the 5-deiodinase enzyme that converts T4 to T3. So you can have a normal TSH and a normal T4, but if your T4 is not converting to T3, T3 is the active form of thyroid hormones, you're still going to have all the symptoms of a low thyroid, and the doctor's test, that TSH and T4 are telling you don't have a problem. But you do. Okay, but it's not a problem with your thyroid gland. All right? Your adrenal glands, your stress glands are pumping out cortisol at such a high level, you are downregulating the conversion of T4 to T3. So guess what? You gotta address that adrenal imbalance. All right. So the two of the main things that can be affecting your thyroid are, number one, autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's. You can also have the hyper version, which is called Graves' disease, but two different types of immune attacks. One causes hyper, one causes hypo. But they are immune attacks against your thyroid gland, and it is destroying your thyroid gland. So number one, you got to stop that autoimmune attack. And even if you take thyroid hormones, it's not going to fix the problem because you still have this autoimmunity floating around in your bloodstream. So the inflammatory products are blocking your thyroid hormones, so the thyroid hormones can't attach to the cell. And then number two, you can also have an underconverting thyroid. You're not converting your T4 or your inactive thyroid hormones to your T3. And if you can't convert to the T3 because you have high cortisol levels down regulating that conversion, well then you will still have low thyroid symptoms, even if your blood work, if your TSH and all that looks normal. Same thing with the autoimmune condition. So, can you see how confusing this is? All right? Can you see why that one test that you're most likely getting run at your doctor's office does not give you the whole story? Do you see why somebody needed to create this program? All right? So that you could be helped. All right? That's why I did it. If you want to learn about the program, go ahead and just hit yes in the comments. You'll get in Messenger. You'll get a little in Messenger. You're gonna get a little like a message thing. You can click on it. It'll opt you in, and then you can go check out the program I created. Okay. But so, what is CBD oil's role in this whole thing? Well, if the number one cause of a low thyroid in the United States is ultimately caused by an autoimmune attack, okay. Your immune system's attacking and destroying your thyroid gland. And we know that autoimmune conditions are when your immune system gets severely out of balance. Well, guess what? CBD oil helps bring balance to the immune system. Through CB2 receptors, it helps your immune system talk to each other and helps the Th1 and Th2 side of the immune system create balance. So we get more balance in the immune system, less of those inflammatory cytokines. So if it can stop the immune attack, so you quit destroying your thyroid gland, but also if you're having to take thyroid hormones because you've already destroyed a bunch of it, those thyroid hormones can now attach to the receptor sites. All right? Is that awesome? CBD oil has such an awesome impact in autoimmune conditions, mainly because, now once again, we don't treat autoimmune conditions, but if we break down what is an autoimmune condition, and we know that it's an imbalance, an inflammatory process, an imbalance in the immune system, if we can help bring balance to the immune system, we're going to help save thyroids, man. We're going to help. Your current thyroid treatment's going to work now because those thyroid hormones you're taking are going to actually make it through to your cells. That's awesome. All right? So that's how CBD oil helps, number one, which is it has a positive impact on the immune system, and the number one cause of a low thyroid in the United States is an autoimmune attack. What's the number two reason? Well, we already said it's an underconversion of T4 to T3. The cause of that is too high a stress hormones or adrenal hormones called cortisol. Well, guess what? Guess what CBD oil does for the body? Well, it also helps kind of calm down the stress response. My cortisol might be a little elevated right now because I get so excited about this stuff. All right, but it helps bring down your cortisol levels. It helps really just, that's why it helps people sleep. It helps get your body reconnected into that day-night cycle. It helps lower those cortisol levels, and as you lower cortisol levels, cortisol quits down-regulating that 5-deiodinase enzyme, and your body can convert T4 to T3. And T3 is the active form of thyroid hormones. We gotta have more of that, right? So if you can clear up the autoimmune attack and clear up the inflammation so the thyroid hormones can attach to the cells, and you can reduce the cortisol that's down-regulating your conversion, and you can up your conversion from T4 to T3, it's going to have a major impact in your thyroid. These are my CBD oil and low thyroid secrets revealed. All right? Now, you can imagine that this is a complex issue. That's a lot of moving parts. That's a lot to understand, and I don't expect, I've spent 15 years. I've been in practice 20. This has been 15 years of my practice going through problems like this. So I want you to know that I don't expect you to totally get 15 years worth of information and research and thousands of hours of certifications and all this kind of stuff to be able to completely get it, okay? But what I do want you to know is that there's a couple things that you need to do if you have an autoimmune condition. Well, number one, you got to cut out the things that are flaring up your immune system. That means there are very specific things in what you eat that could be creating making your immune system mad. All right, further driving the autoimmune condition. Number two, you got to heal your gut, because we know 80% of your immune system lives in your gut. And if you have a problem called leaky gut or inflammatory bowel or something like that, guess what? It's making your immune system angry, and it's going to further drive those autoimmune conditions. So there's so many things. This is why I created this program, the world's first online health transformation program featuring CBD oil. All right, I created it for people that are sick and suffering, especially with thyroid problems. Okay, if you have thyroid problems or inflammatory problems or autoimmune conditions, this program is for you, because I have helped crack the code on what it takes to help get these under control. And we use a 3-part system. This is launch week for the program, so I'm explaining it every night. Okay, people that I want to help, why I created it, and what's in it. Okay, number one, I'm going to recommend that you take CBD oil. All right, it has an impact across so many different places. I'm going to show you how much, what, and when, and everything. Okay, so that's one section of the program. Section 2 is the eating style, the how, what, and the when, and the why, especially the why. Okay, and there's I think it's nearly 40 videos inside of this program that you can take in the sections. There's a CBD oil section, there's the eating section, and then I created a supplement section. And the supplements section is to take, like if you have an autoimmune condition or you have a thyroid condition, or it's most likely you have both at the same time. then you're going to go into the program and you're going to go to the supplement section and you're going to be able to pick thyroid and autoimmune, and it's going to list, okay, these are the supplements that you should be taking, the exact nutrients to help your body heal. All right. So you'll take CBD oil, you're going to follow a specific eating style, and you're going to get specific nutrients specific to your condition. All right. I've taken all the guesswork out of it. It is 100% pre-done. Hundreds and hundreds of hours have gone into making this for you so that you can just go, yes, I want that. I want that help. So if you want that kind of help, go ahead and click yes in the comments. It's going to give you a link to an opt-in page. You put in your name and your email, and once you put the name and the email in, it'll send you to a video where I sort of explain the program, and then it gives you all the information. I highly recommend you click yes in the comments. Go check out the program. All right, it's going to be a game changer for so many people, especially people with thyroid problems that are not getting the help that they've wanted. Their test results are normal, and yet you still feel awful. This program's for you. So go ahead and put yes in the comments. So the big deal for tonight is CBD oil, low thyroid secrets revealed. We know that the thyroid is incredibly important. We know that the number one cause of a low thyroid, and well, that a lot of people get tested and it doesn't really come back. It's not helping them. You know, they're on medications, and still the doc says, you know, everything looks good, and they still don't feel well. You still don't feel well. This program is for you, okay? But we know that that autoimmunity and underconverting are two really big reasons of why those numbers could be normal and you still have all the symptoms of low thyroid. And then that we know that CBD oil helps balance the immune system. So it's good for autoimmune conditions. We know that CBD oil helps calm down cortisol and stress levels so that your body can convert T4 to T3. So that helps with the underconversion issues. Now, if your thyroid is beat up and damaged, taking CBD oil is not going to make your thyroid make thyroid hormones, okay? I don't want anybody to get that perception that I believe that if your thyroid doesn't make enough thyroid hormones and you take CBD oil, it's going to magically start making thyroid hormones. That's not how it works. That's not how CBD oil helps with low thyroid conditions. CBD oil helps in the autoimmune and the inflammation and the regulating cortisol and the reducing inflammation and effectively addressing things like blood sugar and other things that are ultimately driving the process. But if your thyroid's already destroyed from an autoimmune condition or partially destroyed, you may need to take thyroid hormones. Okay? I just want you to know that. But if you're taking thyroid hormones and you still feel like garbage, well, then we got work to do, and that's what I'm here for. Click yes in the comments. I just share and like this video with as many people as you want. If you know somebody who has a low thyroid, please share this with them. If you know somebody who needs CBD oil, share this with them. I want to help as many people get CBD oil and get this going in the right direction. So please share it, like it, love it. Put yes in the comments, and then. That's all I got, fellas. So just like I tell my son every day before he goes to school, be your very best today. #never quit. And I believe that God wants the very, very best for you. And the day you believe that, it's going to change your life forever. Have a very blessed night.